everyone and happy Monday. We have a lovely picture from Ivy in the Inky Butterfly to colour today. I've done this quite a few times. I don't know why I've done it a few times. Maybe it was a free download by Johanna when she released Ivy. I'm not sure. I swear I've done it quite a few times, certainly in the Ivy book, but also I'm sure elsewhere. But however, we have this one to do, which is a lovely picture. I'm going to be using my Black Widow's pencils, and I just wanted to very quickly talk to you about Black Widows. I have a swatch chart for Black Widows in my Ko-fi shop, and I also have these two comparison charts. I just brought them to quickly show you. This one is for Prismacolor and this one is for Polychroma. So if you don't have the Black Widows and you want to grab the closest match that I think you can, my opinion, I've listed them out. So these are all the sets of Black Widows that I have. I don't have all the sets, so I have the spider, the skin tones, the scorpion and the cobra, and I've swatched them out and then made the closest matches. This one is with Prismas, this one is with Polys, and you can go to my Ko-fi shop and download those for free. You can either print them out or use them on screen. There are also blank ones if you want to do your own swatching as well. So that's all available. I will leave all the links in the description so you can go and find them nice and easily if that's something that you want to do. Now we're going to start colouring, and I'm quite excited today. You might hear that in my voice, but I'm going to just get on first and then tell you more. I want to do the boat first. I'm trying to find the right sort of brown. I'm going to go for a lightish brown. This is from the spider set. This is the foxy brown. Sorry, it's quite far away. Let's come in a bit closer. Let's come in, because we don't need to see the whole picture at the moment. There we go. So this is the foxy brown. I'm going to use this across the whole boat, apart from these bits, to start us off while I finish telling you why I'm excited. I finished my book. I said in a few previous videos that I was writing a book on colouring, and I finished it and it's in my Ko-fi shop, and some of you have already bought it, and I'm absolutely staggered by your generosity, because I have put a price on the book. Everything else in my Ko-fi shop is free, but the book, you know, it took a while to write. It does incorporate some of the free items, but I just, I just felt like I wanted to put a bit of a price on it, as I say, because it takes a little bit longer. It was fun to write, but even so. And I sort of put a minimum price, and nearly all of you have paid more than the minimum, and that's amazing, and thank you all so much. But I kept it quite low, because I know, you know, not everyone has lots of money, but it's lovely, so I'm really pleased. I mean, I say book, it's probably a booklet because it's not really long, but I think there's quite a lot of information in there, but I do try and keep things quite brief when I'm writing, because you don't want tons of waffle, that's a waste of time. So I try and get straight to the point, and that sort of thing. So anyway, it is there in my shop if you're interested in having a little look. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm just blown away by everybody buying it, and you know, it's just lovely. So thank you all, and to everyone else that's donated into the Ko-fi shop, because those of you that download freebies will sometimes send me a little donation or a big donation, and either way it's all appreciated. I know times are tight for a lot of people, and you know, it's just amazing. In fact, it's come just at the right time really, because husband is thinking of semi-retiring because he's finding his job so stressful, and he has other pursuits he wants to do. His art, he has his own Ko-fi shop with some things for sale in there. He wants to expand that, try and sell more art and just do more art and be more relaxed, really have more time to chill and not always be worried about work. So I asked him to consider leaving his job, and he decided that maybe just I'm going to use this tarantula from the spider set, Now this set, this is a new set. Those of you who've seen me use Black Widows before will know that I didn't have the new set with the dipped ends. I used to have the original black set that looks more like this, you know, with a plain end. But they were sort of running out, some of them, and someone very kindly sent me a set. I think they were slightly used, but you know, very lightly used, so I very much appreciated that. Thank you very much. And it's nice to have some nice long pencils to use, and although not all of them were really short, I've obviously kept them, and as they run out I can replace where necessary. Yeah, so yeah, husband is going to be working less hours, but it's, you know, we've done a few calculations and it's going to be fine. I'm hoping that I won't have to go out to work and I can just continue doing this as long as I'm making some money, which I do. I think a lot of people don't really understand how it works with YouTube. Once you have more than a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of watch hours, then they've changed the rules, which is why I'm not 100% sure. Then you can monetize your channel, and what that means is that when they show adverts, which they do on all channels anyway, but if you're a monetized channel you get a percentage of the money that they make from the adverts. And though I hope you can all see what I'm doing, I'm just sort of making it darker on the edges of the boat, and we're going to come back in with the other colour and tidy it up in a minute. That if you watch the adverts, then the YouTuber gets some of the money from the ads. If you're Prime, then there's still some, obviously you don't get shown adverts, then there is still some money that goes towards the YouTuber. So that's nice. So, but you have to watch, I think, 30 seconds of the advert, because obviously some adverts are really long. I've seen adverts that are half an hour long. But I gather that once you watch for 30 seconds, that's enough to count, but I'm not 100% sure. But also my affiliate links help. So if you're buying something from Amazon and anything, if you start off by clicking an affiliate link from my site. Ooh, my printer suddenly started making a noise. It startled me. Sorry, it does that. Like I printed something a while ago, and it sort of turns itself off after a while. This is the stinkbug, also from the spider set, and I'm just going to go over all of it really. I want to brighten it up a bit, but also I want to go over those lighter areas as well, so that it just looks a little bit more finished. I hope you understand what I mean. This will probably be my final layer, so I might do a little bit more shadows in places, I'm not sure yet, but it won't be much more. Yeah, so I'm an affiliate for Amazon, so I get money that way. Even if it isn't the product that I've recommended, I get a smaller percentage then. So it all helps and adds up and gives me a little bit of pocket money, which pays for things like my haircut. I had my hair cut today. Now I was trying to work it out. I went to the hairdressers before lockdown, definitely when my boys were in primary school, which means it's more than 6 years ago, probably more like 8 or 10 years ago. That was the last time I went to the hairdresser and I had my hair dyed and cut. And then I cut my hair myself a few times and it's just terrible. It was all uneven, it was breaking, it was gone all thin from menopause, it looked awful. And I had been reluctant to go. I'm not keen on hairdressers. I'm sick of leaving a hairdresser looking like a scarecrow because they don't know how to treat curly hair properly, and they just sort of blow dry it, make it all look a horrible mess, don't put enough product on it or whatever, and it's like, ugh. So a local shop shared the fact that there was a newish hairdresser had opened up in the unit next door to them who specialised in curly hair. And I was like, right. So I had a look at her website. She's like, I've got curly hair. I've never found anyone who knows how to cut it properly. I've trained and I'm going to specialise in curly haircuts. And I was like, wow, okay, this sounds promising. I am going to risk it. And I just booked it, and I was really nervous, I have to say. And she was absolutely lovely. We ended up having a hug at the end of the haircut. You know, it was just so lovely. And I'm going to use my Huntsman. I'm just going to give it a sharpen and do a few really defined shadows. And hopefully it would just help it to just jump out of the page a little bit. Well, not literally. That might be a bit scary, having a little mouse running around on my desk. But I'm going to go. See, I'm thinking that these are slightly rounded wooden pieces, so they would have a shadow under. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a shadow under each of these. Anyway, yeah, and she taught me how to look after my hair, what to do with it, what products to use. She said any products with silicone in, basically it's like a plastic. It does stop your hair going frizzy from moisture, you know, like when it's damp or anything, but it also stops your hair being able to breathe, and they're not particularly good. So she recommended some other products which I've got to try, which she used on my hair as well, and looks, I don't think my hair's ever looked in better condition, I have to say. So that's pretty amazing. I'm going to go up the side of this little, I'm thinking it's string, twine, I'm not sure. It's a bit messy. Go a bit slower, a bit neater. So that's rather good news, so I'm quite excited. She took a before and after picture, which I sent to a few people who thought it looked good. So we'll see. Okay. I'm going to put a bit of dark colour around the acorns and under the leaves, because they would be making a shadow, wouldn't they, on our boat. I just love this picture. I don't know why. It's a fun one. We do have a face to do, which is always tricky. I find colouring faces from the side a little bit weird. I don't know why, I've always found it a bit strange, but it's fine. Now, I'm going to do this sort of twiny bit, because I've coloured over it a lot. It's quite messy. Oops. I've just noticed a bit I've missed. I'm going to use quite a dark colour, I think. I'm just having a look at what I've got in my dark skin tones. I have this, this is the Negra. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to give it a sharpen. Now, because we've tried to make our sort of logs look rounded, we need to make these look rounded too. Sorry, I'll go this side so it's not blurring. So you want to make it darker at the top and the bottom than the middle. So you can do that by layering up a bit more at the top and then less towards the middle and back in the other direction like that. And all the way through. There we go. Now we have a little house here. I'm just thinking it's Easter Monday, isn't it, I think? And yet, this isn't a particularly Eastery picture, is it? I guess Johanna doesn't really do Eastery pictures, does she? I'd have thought something floral would have felt a bit more Eastery. But anyway, never mind. Now I'm going to keep this Negra in my hand, and I'm going to do some stripes on our boat, thin, as if they're sort of wood grainy type markings. If you press too hard, you may not get this to show up, and to be honest, it doesn't matter. and just being a bit fussy. There we go. Yes, so I'm mega excited today, and my boys are going to be off after tomorrow. One of them is finishing today, the other one's finishing tomorrow, and they'll be off at their Easter break. They've got a lot of work to do. It's not really going to be a huge break, but it just means that I don't have to get up early, worry about trains and all that sort of thing, which is fantastic news. I'm going to do the 2 masts. Hang on, get them into shot. So yeah, we've got 2 here. I think rather than trying to make the same colour as the boat, which I can't remember, I'm going to make them different. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to start with a paler colour, I think. This is the olive brown. I'm not sure how pale it is. I've got the swatch chart next to me, but I'm just going to go for it. I'm so thirsty. Because my hairdresser appointment was at 10. I decided it'd be better not to have a drink. Well, I had a drink with my breakfast, but then I didn't have one until I got back, and it was after 12. And I had 2 coffees then. But anyway, a bit thirsty. There's that one. And this one, now actually this is would be quite a good colour for that rope, but that's okay. Right, so it's quite rough. We're going to do a bit around the edge. What colour should we pick? Could pick one we've done before. Maybe this one. Maybe our foxy brown. No, actually I've changed my mind. I'm going to use the tarantula. The foxy brown is a bit orangey, and I don't want this to look so orange, and it'll look different then. So, whoops, actually maybe it's this one that's the orangey one. No, not really. So I'm going to put it on the edge and then fade it towards the middle. It's like our sort of logs. This is round, or what would you say? It's not a cone. Cylinder. Is that the right one? I think so. Yeah. So it's cylindrical. That's right. So it needs to. We can try and make it look a bit rounded, which is fun. There we go. And then here as well. Now, I mean, you don't have to do these 2 matching, but I think it sort of makes sense. It's a little bit scruffy, but there we go. Now, shall we stick with our wood and do the little house? We don't have to do it wooden. We could do it bright. Maybe I'll leave it for now. Let's do our girl's face, Ivy. Now, we have our skin tone sets, so we can use these. Let's have a little look. I think I might start with an eggshell. It's really quite pale. Give it a sharpen and just do a light layer over her face and see where we're at. It looks quite grey actually, but this end doesn't. So I'm just going to do an even layer across her whole face. I can't really see a neck, but I can see, like, here's her hand, but this bit looks like her arm, like that, but that bit might have a sleeve on, and then we've got this bit of arm, a little bit tricky to sort of, now I think that must be the back of her dress. Then we've got a little bit of leg. So that's just sort of starting base. Now I am going to, I think, just trying to decide how dark to go. I might just use the rust and see how that sits. So, excuse me, I've got hiccups. Rust, so I'm going to start with it, the bottom of the chin. I'm just thinking about where might be a little bit darker, because like there, and the lower part of the arm. The skin tone is something that can be quite scary. I've been practicing a lot lately mainly with Prismacolor actually, a bit on the bottom of the fingers and on the lower part of this arm, and I'm getting more used to it. It depends on the picture as to how confident I feel. Now it's tempting to put the lips in with a darker colour, however I have done this on a few pictures, oh excuse me, and they look really bad. So for myself, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it as it is, without the lips coloured any differently to the skin tone. I think from the side, imagine, or find a picture, someone standing to the side with their lips closed. There isn't an awful lot to see colour-wise. There might be a tiny dash, but with it being such a small picture, I think it's just better to leave it. So leave it I am. Now hair. I do find these skin tones are quite good for hair as well, the dark skin tones, the browns and things. But we want her hair to stand out from the post, the mast, is it? I don't know. So I'm thinking if we go a little bit darker. So let's start with quite a dark colour. This is mud. Now with hair, it's really small, this hair, to show you, but I tend to go dark on the end of a strand and then a little bit lighter in the middle. Now it doesn't always work because it depends on how the strand is sitting, whether it would naturally be lighter in the middle, but on a small bit of hair like this I don't think it's too crucial. And it just makes it look like the hair is a little bit shiny. I've only got individual strands here. Right. I think we are done there. Now around this, I'm going to actually just give it a sharpen because I've got to get around the flower. And I tend to make the flower match her dress. I feel like it would make sense that her flower in her hair would match her dress. Now here I'm going to put a dark bit here and then leave a lightish bit right near the top so it looks like her hair is shiny on the top like that. Just going to add a few more layers on the edges. That's very messy, isn't it? But I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, she's coming along. Now her dress is always tricky. Depends what colour we're going to do the background. I'm thinking maybe, oh excuse me, I was just thinking, oh let's do it in 2 shades of green, and then I realised how many leaves we've got. Not a good idea. We haven't got lots of colour in this picture, to be honest. Only our fish are going to have the potential of being quite bright unless we just go mad with our leaves and do mad colour. But I'm thinking let's go with the dress. Let's put some colour into her dress. Let's do the leaves and the dress in bright colours. So which is my favourite? I've got a favourite purple which I'm going to grab. Just trying to look on my swatch chart to work out which one it was. Sometimes I pick up the wrong one. I think it's grape. But I'm just going to check. Ah, that's a photocopy. It's a printout of my page. There it is. Yes, it's grape. It's a really pretty colour. Where are you? You can see I like it because it's shrinking. And actually with the grape, I'm going to do the leaves on the dress. I know that's a bit unusual, but I so often do them green. You can absolutely do them green if you want to. But I just want to do them a little bit differently, just for a change. There's no rule that says they have to be green. So, and we've got so many leaves on this page, I just figured it would be nice to do some of them a little bit different. And you know, it's a printed fabric dress and not real leaves, so that means that it's a little bit, feels a little bit easier to sort of do them the wrong colour. Sorry, yawning away. Don't know why I'm tired today. Purple haze is what I'm going to do the dress. Sorry, the grape is from the Cobra set, as is this. I'm thinking about shadows as I colour here. I can leave the cuff part. I'm not really sure. I can make it look, I don't think I can make it look darker with this shade, so I might have to get a different purpley colour to add a few darker patches in a minute. So I think I'm just going to fill in this area and worry about shadows after. I've got some fun videos for you planned this week. I hope I can get them done for you. That'll do. No more clues. I'm excited. Now, I think I'm going to go back to my grape and do her sleeve cuff thing, whatever you might call it. Okay. Now, I was thinking I would do her flower in her hair this colour because it's so lovely, but actually, because her hair's dark, if we do a purple haze flower, it will stand out much better. Yeah, me and my boys took part in some medical research yesterday. I am going to do the leaves in grape, just so they match the dress. And it's our National Health Service are carrying out some research, and we got a letter through the door inviting us to take part. I suspect a lot of people did. Oh, excuse me. I'm just looking on my swatch chart to try and find a slightly darker purple. I think the amethyst is going to be the best one from the spider set. And so we went to, I'm just going to sharpen, we went to a place and had our blood pressure taken, and what was quite fascinating was that me and my two boys went. Our blood pressures were all quite similar. We had our heights and weights done, and my son was fascinated by the fact that he was 6'2.5" and his brother was 6'1.5", and he's very competitive on height. He likes being the tallest. He's taller than his father as well now, which was interesting. I'm just going to put a little crease. Can you see where there's that little mark there at the bottom of the dress? If you just go over that and carry it up a bit, it makes it look like there's a little crease in the dress. We can do a few more just so it looks a bit more natural. There we go. Okay, where to next? Let's do the ropes on these, and I found this colour which I think might work. This is the leather, so I think it might just work for the rope. I'm just going to put a layer of it on them, and then I will come back in a minute to them all and find a different colour to put a little bit of shadow on. Oh, we can't see that one because House Mouse is standing in the way. I think this is dark tan. Yeah, the dark tan from the Scorpion set. So we've all got bruises today from having had our blood taken. My poor one boy, they couldn't find any in one vein, so he had to go and get stabbed somewhere else. But anyway, but we got a reward of £10 voucher. So I suggested the boys give me their vouchers, because you can get supermarket vouchers. So they did that. So I said, give me your vouchers and I'll spend them in the supermarket on groceries. And I'll give you the cash, or I'll put some money in your account, and then you can buy yourself something fun. So that's what they're going to do. I am just having a look at my greens because I'm going to do the sails. I'm wondering whether to do them the same colour, all the leaves the same colour on the sails. I think that will help them stand out from the other leaves around the edge if I do those in different colours. So I'm just picking. I'm thinking the forest with the olive green. So the olive green is from the scorpion set. So I'm going to grab that one if I can find it. There it is. That's the olive green. And the, what did I say before that? Forest. Did I say forest? Green. Yes, that's from the Cobra set. The forest green. And then a lighter one. Actually, the olive's quite light. Might be okay. I'll just grab the cicada, but I may not use it, so I'll just put that to the side. So I'm going to start with the forest and do all the parts of the leaves that I want to be dark. So basically I'm going to make them darker at the top and the bottom. So I'm going to put more layers of colour at the bottom here and then just fade up towards the centre a little bit and sort of taper off. And do the same here and all the way through. There we go. Yes, so we also had our cholesterol done. Mine has gone up since last year, which is quite interesting. I don't know whether it goes up in menopause, and that could be it. I'm exercising less, I'm sure that would be a factor. But as far as eating, I don't think I've changed that much, really. So I have lots of, I might be eating a bit more chocolate, which obviously isn't brilliant for cholesterol. I mean, I do eat the 100% chocolate, sugar-free, but it's the cocoa butter that's the problem. Although in cheaper chocolate, you don't get cocoa butter, but you get palm oil, which is bad too. The hard fat's supposed to be the bad thing. So anyway, that was interesting. But yeah, my blood pressure was really about the same as the boys, which was pretty interesting, whereas our heart rates were really different. Mine was 60 and theirs were 80 something. I think that's obviously an age factor there. And my son reckons when you're taller, your heart has to work harder, and taller people die younger through that, so he tells me. Like, nice depressing thoughts. And then he says, "You're tall, Mum." I'm like, "Thanks." I'm 5'7". I feel very short, I have to say, compared with them. But it's fascinating because they're twins, but they're not identical. They've got very different body shapes, and one of them is BMI, which is a body mass index. They're both in just about, no, one of them is a bit underweight, and he always has been his whole life, so yeah, it's fine. The other one is just okay weight, but his waist measurement was a bit high. My waist measurement was only just okay, so just having a reorganise, so I have to be careful of that. So here's the olive green, and what I'm going to do with my olive, I'll show you on this top leaf, is go over the top of the forest green and just bring it down towards the centre and then up from the bottom as well, and then join it up and colour right over. In fact, I could just colour over the whole leaf, and it will lighten and brighten and warm it up. I like the warmth of it. I wasn't going to actually join it up completely, but I really like that warmth. I don't know how well you can see it, but I think it's rather pretty. I've got very squiff, haven't I? There we go. I'm trying to figure out when to show you my completed pages video, because it's the first today and I haven't recorded it yet, but I've got things lined up, you know, Eastery themed things, and before the... What's going on there? I think that's a leaf hiding in there. I'm just going to grab the forest again. Just put a little bit in here and here. I think that's a leaf behind. I couldn't be completely sure. But I'm just going to sort of colour it in there like that. We can't leave it uncoloured. Yeah, so I'm not sure when I'm going to do that. I'm wondering whether to put it, excuse me, in the morning. But by the time this video goes out, I may have put it out anyway. I'm just sort of planning in my head while I'm talking to you. I have got other videos planned for this week though as well. It's hard to fit it all in, but that's okay. It's a nice problem to have, rather than not knowing what I'm doing and not having any videos planned. But I've just finished a swatch chart actually, doing a few more of those for you. And what else am I doing? I've got yeah, I think that's about it I'm working on at the moment. Right, now we have been 36 minutes already. It doesn't feel like we've done very much really. I think we'll do house mouse before we finish. We really ought to do this as well. Of these bits on the boat. I'm wondering whether these leaves should be the same colour as the sails, and I think they should. So I'm actually, just thinking about it rather than doing house mouse, I'm going to do these leaves. Now I've gone over the lines quite a lot onto these leaves, and if you've done that, you might want to erase a little bit. To be honest, I'm not bothered, and by the time I've put the forest down and the olive on top, I don't think it will barely be noticeable. So I'm not worrying about it. Maybe I'm a bit of a lazy colourist, I think. I just go with it, go with the flow, but laid back as well. I used to be really laid back, quite as laid back as I used to be. This is olive green. Where is it? The people used to tell me I was really laid back. Sorry, let's do that a little bit. I remember not getting a job once because I was too laid back, which was ironic, as the person interviewing me had his feet up on the desk. But, oh, how would you cope in X situation where you had too much work to do and not enough time? Well, I would see if anyone was able to help me. I would see if I could put in some overtime, and I would just get my head down and get on with it. What's the right answer to that question? The little hooks holding the acorns, I'm going to use the same colours as this. So we're going to use the leather again. This is from the light skin tone or the dark skin tone. It's dark skin tone. Yeah, so that was a bit strange. I've told you about that a lot of times before. And then we're using the dark tan to just put a little bit of extra colour top and bottom, I think. I'm getting so thirsty. I'm just going to colour in these acorns and then I'm going to go and get a drink. I'm going to use the chalk tone. This is again from the skin tones, just because it's nice to use a variety of colour, I think. Just sharpening it. It wants to break. Hang on. If it doesn't sharpen, I'll use something else. Sometimes these can be a little prone to breaking. Oh yeah, it's breaking. Okay, I'm not going to, I'll sharpen that in my dowel another day. I mean later, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to use the dark chocolate instead. From the scorpion set, it's really similar. Do this little bit of stalk stick. Or last time I remember using the words now gently here, really gently. I remember using the word stalk once and someone questioned me. S-T-O-R-K, stalk. No, S-T-A-L-K, stalk. I say it in exactly the same way. English is good, isn't it? So it's like stem, stalk. It's like there, and there. 2, 2 and 2. You're and you are. It's quite fascinating. My husband is a really good speller and good proofreader, but when it comes to certain words, when there's two spellings for the same word, he struggles. It's not surprising, is it? Right, I'm thinking I might grab this colour, the a rattlesnake. What a name for a pencil, really. Ugh. There we go. And I am also going to use a lighter tone. No, I'm not. I'm going to use this, the cinnamon. I think this will work. Needs sharpening. I think my sharpener's a bit full, which is why the other one broke. I'm just going to do it really gently. I'll empty my sharpener before the next instalment. Just fade it towards the middle a little bit, so you've got a few less layers. Well, that was freaky. My arm is partly on my other desk. This is sort of two desks pushed together, or two bits of a desk pushed together, and it lowered slightly. Clunk, and my arm went down. Ooh, thought it was going to collapse. Right, so this is all we've done today. I'm not in the mood for rushing a picture. It may take I think it will take 3 parts to get this one done. It's got all this water and the fish to do, which is going to be great fun, and still all the leaves in the background. Just had a thought for the background. Well, that could be good. She says modestly, well, you'll have to wait and see. Join me in the next session to see where I go next. I hope this has been fun for you. I have enjoyed myself. So thank you for watching. Hoping that you have a really super Monday, or whatever day it might be when you're watching this. Have a lovely, lovely day. And yes, thank you. Please like, subscribe, follow, and happy colouring.